Now that you have mastered setting your background first, adding your main light, now we can get into adding some more techniques to create that wow factor. I also talked about using your flash, right? Once you do that, you can add a little spice to your image by creating a rim light, or what they call separation light, that will separate your subject from the background. You really want to do this when you have a subject with dark hair, because the dark hair tends to blend into the background. Or if your subject is wearing something that's dark, or they have dark skin, this technique is great for that. What do? You use your flash, you put it behind your subject, and in general, you're going to have to, I would start at 16th power and see how that goes. In this particular case, you can see this beautiful model that we have here. I'm in Paris, and I've got a nice little rim light around her. She has dark hair, and I had to put this flash on like half power. I really had to push it because her hair is darker. It's hard for that light to create that rim light. You need a lot of power for that. This is one way of creating separation light and using your flash. I put the flash right behind the subject, and usually I have to put it on the ground, and I make sure that that flash is pointing right at the head of the subject. Put the flash behind your subject, point it up towards the head of the subject to create that beautiful rim light. Let's look at this one. Now I'm in New York. I'm at Central Park. They have this beautiful, kind of like it's not a bridge, but it's some sort of walkway. And they have beautiful columns underneath, and people shoot in here and play music in here all the time. There's people in here probably all hours of the day. What I wanted to do is kind of create this silhouette effect, right? And so I put the flash on the steps behind them. I fired the flash to give them a bit of rim light and create those shadows, right, going towards the camera, which look cool. And I also had a little video light on them so I can see them a bit. But here again, I'm using the combination of video light and flash to create that backlight for an interesting effect. And you can see that separation light really helps the subject to stand out. Another technique you can do is shoot through something. Now, one of my all-time favorite things to do is to carry with me these fairy lights, and I use them a lot because they're real small lights that are battery operated. You can find them on the link below. And what I do is I crumple them up and I put it in front of my lens to create that bokeh effect, where you can see these bokeh light balls, and it has this nice layered effect to it. So you have blurry in the foreground and then your subject is sharp. Now look at this next picture. I shot this, I saw this beautiful orange background behind her, and I had her kneel down. I put my light down lower, right? I had some beautiful light on my subject, and then I just took these little fairy lights, I put it in front of my lens to get me this beautiful shot. Here is another great technique I use to eliminate clutter. And you can use this pretty much anywhere there's a door, and you can create these amazing shots. So what I'm doing, instead of shooting through lights, I am shooting through a little crack in the door. So you can see in this next picture, look at all that chaos around. There's a bunch of junk, and there's fans, and there's, plastic that was holding the dress hanging up next to her, and it just looks very messy, right? And I'm trying to get a great shot that this bride would want to buy, and there's just no way she would like this. And you can see I have my assistant off to the side lighting up my subject. So what I do is I step outside the door, I close the door to give me a little bit of a crack so I can shoot through it and focus on my bride. And you can see this next picture where it looks absolutely beautiful in there, and you don't see any of the garbage and the stuffs and just the items, all around her, because I'm narrowing what the viewer looks at. I did the same thing in Hawaii. I was teaching a class there, and I was looking around to do this low light shot, and I just found these doors into this auditorium that I could use. So I actually didn't use the doors and close them. I actually used the crack where the hinge of the door and the wall is, and I shot through there. So look at this next shot here. The subject was inside and it was completely dark there, and I had my assistant hold a light right onto my subject. I made the nose towards the light, okay? And I shot in between that little space where the door and the hinge was, and I can just fire and shoot at her, and that eliminated everything else except for my subject. And you can see this is a great way. Now, you could do it with one subject. Let's say you are shooting a wedding. This is a great shot to use for a wedding because, oh man, let's say it's raining outside and it's like, oh man, I got to get a shot here. I don't know what to do. Shoot between a crack and a door. Just put them where it's dark, put your video light on them, and then shoot in between that little tiny crack, and you're going to get yourself an amazing shot. Here is another way, using uplight. And in this particular picture, what I did was I used uplight. Now, what does uplight do? Uplight makes your subjects glow. You don't want to use a lot of it, and when you do use it, you want to use soft light because you don't really want to create a lot of shadows when you're doing uplight. So those are the two requirements. Don't use a lot of it and make it very soft light. So how do you make your light soft? So I got my trusty video light. I put it on the ground. I turn it on a little bit. I'm starting to see shadows and they're a little bit too harsh for me, and I want to make it softer. So I take my umbrella, I open it up, and I put it over the video light on the ground. It's an instant softbox. Now, how long did it take for me to do that? Seconds, okay? And that's why I did it, because it's seconds. So I used that as my main light, and I used a lot of backlight behind her to give it that romantic feel. Backlight equals romance. I know you hear me say that a lot, but the more backlight that you use, the more romantic it looks with that photo, and it looks great for portraits, okay, especially women. Look at the final photo here. You can see that backlight illuminating her hair and that uplight just giving her that angelic glow that looks amazing. So you can use your light as uplight. Here in this next picture, talk about romance here. I got them in a pool in Jamaica, okay? How am I gonna take this shot? I want them in that pool. I want them making out. I wanna make it look like it's raining. How can I do that? I go inside the pool. I take my light that is waterproof, or maybe you can cover a flashlight or something like that. But I use these Stella Pro lights that are completely waterproof. And it's just a small light, and it's only about 1,000 lumens, okay? So I put it under the water. You know, as you walk into the pool, you see steps there? I put it on one of those steps, and I got them near the steps. And so now, here's the water. That light is shining up through the water. That water is moving. The waves are moving. So what is it doing to my subject? It's creating that film noir look across my subjects, because sometimes they're in shadow, sometimes they're not. And there's a variance there that looks really cool, right? And so the more kind of shadow that you put on your subjects, the more mystery that it creates. And so that looks beautiful. I love that uplight. How do I create the rain? So I had someone behind them just splash water behind them. So you can see that water coming down behind them. How do you make rain or water that's falling or smoke? How do you get to see it in your picture? The only way that you can see rain or smoke in your photos is if you have backlight. That's important. You will not see it unless you have backlight. So I took another video light that was very, very strong. You could use flash too, I guess, if you didn't have a super strong video light. I put it behind the subject to shine on that water spray that was behind them so you could see it, to give it that romantic feel to it. And here again, I'm using uplight in an unconventional way. I'm using it through the water, creating rain behind them, and using backlight to see that.